Hello and welcome to my channel, and today we are filming my April TBR. Just a couple of things before we get into my picks. First of all, I have finally, almost 4 months into the year, updated my series and my rereads jar. So there's that. Basically, I have put everything completely updated except for this year's rereads. I don't want to reread them too soon and then neglect the books that I have not reread that have been on my shelf for a while. And then completely updated all of the series that I've started, including my most recent ones. With my series, I have also decided to not just pick one book. So like say I pick a series out of this jar, and normally I only buy the very next book in the series and continue on that way. I have since decided that if I pick a series out of the jar, I will need to purchase maybe not the whole series, because I have a couple of series that I'm in the middle of that have a lot of books in them, but a few, at least 2 books in the series. That way I can actually catch up with series and it's not just one at a time and I'm still leaving series on there unfinished. So say I pick out Hell's Library. This isn't the pick, but say I pick out like Hell's Library. There are 2 books in the series that I have not read, so I would end up, and I own one of them, but if I didn't own one of them, I would end up buying the last 2. That way I can at least catch up with the series if there aren't any more coming out. Okay, hope all that makes sense. As far as my picks for this month, we will not be picking out of the big jar. This month is the month of the Magical Readathon, the spring equinox. If you don't know what that is, it is a readathon that I participate in pretty much every single year. I didn't last year, but I'll get to that in a minute, where we are in this magical world at this magical school, and we are trying to find our careers and study in our chosen paths. You can create a character, very D&D-esque. You get to create a character and upgrade your career as the years go by. There are usually 2 installments of this readathon every single year, one in April and one in August. Last year I did not finish, or I didn't even participate in the readathons. I think I was feeling very slumpy where readathons were concerned last year. So this year I've decided to completely restart. I have reset my character, or I'm gonna remake my character. I am rejoining a guild. I did take the quiz. I ended up in the same guild as I was last year, so either way it doesn't matter. But I'm completely restarting. As far as my career, I don't know what that's going to be yet. I have this little teacup here, and inside are all of the prompts that are in this year's challenge, in this first challenge, and these are going to be the classes that I am taking that are mandatory. Now, depending on the classes that I end up succeeding in, that is going to choose what my career is for the year. Obviously, I am not only, I'm not just stuck doing these classes. If I end up doing more, then that is great, phenomenal. I can pretty much pick any career as long as I complete the prompts for them. In April, I will also be doing what I did last year and trying to do a 30 and 30 challenge. Last year, I think I got like 24 books read in the month of April, so I do want to try to beat that and get to 30. So I'm hoping for a lot of short books or books that I can get on audio so that I can complete my 30 and 30 challenge. Start the way that we always do, starting with our series jar. I'm gonna see if I can try to find like a lid or something to put on this, because I keep losing or finding all of them like little pieces of paper all over my room. That's probably why I'm not completing a lot of series. Okay, Fractured Fables. The first book in this series was Splinted Silver. So I'm gonna see if I can get the others. Hold on, what is the series? I only have one, but I only have one in my spreadsheet, but I think there's more published. So looks like there is only one other book in this series. I don't know if it's going to be a duology or if there will be more continuing, but looks like the book that I'm going to be reading for this is A Mirror Mended. I think this is a Snow White retelling. The last one was a Sleeping Beauty retelling. And then my reread for the month, which I am very excited about. I realized there's a lot more like nonfiction that I want to reread than I originally thought. So we'll see. We'll see what is in here. Have this. Okay. So it looks like my reread is going to be, I know they're always backwards and you can't really see it, but that says Yellowface. I promise I write a lot neater than that when I want to. So I ended up picking up Yellowface for my reread of the month. This is one that I am intrigued to go back into. This is one that I wasn't sure if I wanted to reread, but I threw it in here for shits and giggles. So if you don't know what this is about, this is a very popular book on BookTube for a while. This follows June Hayward, whose friend recently passes away. Her friend is a very popular author, and she has always been kind of very jealous, not kind of, but very, very jealous of her success because she hasn't gotten a lot of her own. And then when her friend passes away in a tragic accident, she decides to steal her manuscript and publish it as her own. And there's a lot in here about white privilege and the fact that, like, it's very satirical. The fact that like white authors are usually treated better in the public, and you know, a lot of those themes. And I enjoyed it the first time I read it, at least enough to keep it on my shelf and to reread it. And I'm intrigued to see, like, now knowing what I know going into it, how much I'm going to enjoy it a second time. I will say, having read it in the past, I know this isn't a review, but having read it in the past, it is marketed as a mystery thriller. It is not a mystery thriller. It is very much just a literary fiction. Go into it knowing that. Okay. And then we have, excuse the mess in the cup. I don't drink out of this. But now we are going to be picking 5 classes that we're going to be taking for the Magical Readathon. This is Alchemy, a book with a circle on the cover. Let me see what I can find. Okay, that took me a lot longer than I care to admit to find something, but I have options. This first one I have, it's called Lankmar, I think. I found this in my little free library. Don't really know anything about it, but there's a little circle right there. So that's an option. I also have Her Majesty's Royal Coven, which a lot of people on BookTube have definitely read and very much enjoyed. So that's an option. Get the Back to the Future, which is a Shakespeare retelling of Back to the Future, which has a circle in the background. This one I would have to watch the movies for. I'm pretty sure this is just a retelling of the first movie. But I've never seen Back to the Future, but this is an option because I do want to watch the movies. This one has, like, this is My Best Friend's Exorcism. This has, like, a couple of fake stickers that are in the shape of circles, so I don't know if I should really count that or not, but they're circles. And then one of my recent acquires is the Grimoire of Grave Fates, which has a circle right in the middle, and honestly I think this is the one that I'm going to end up choosing. So this one, I don't really know anything about it, and I normally wouldn't pick it up. I don't know what quite drew me in besides, like, the purple on the cover and the word grimoire. That's kind of a newer buzzword for me. But then I found out that every single chapter in this is written by a different author, and I am a sucker for a unique and fun reading experience. So I think this is the one that we are going to go with for April. Definitely a little thicker than I would have liked for a 30 and 30 challenge, but I'm okay. Pick number 2. Is Astronomy, a Zodiac recommendation. A lot of Zodiac recommendations. First of all, I was born on June 29th. I am a Cancer. And a lot of Zodiac recommendations for Cancers are usually very sad. And I have to be in the mood for a sad book in order to like them. So let me see if, let's do some scrolling. And so found one. So I found one that I want to read and that I actually own, which is great. I found this on simonteen.com. It is a YA book. It says, "Are you ready? If you're worried you're not ready, I'm not sure you're ready for the mind-blowing, world-building, badass female characters and jaw-dropping twists that are encompassed in." Then it goes on to describe the book, which I don't want to know too much about. and it says, this first book in a trilogy, which I'm starting another series, packs an emotional punch cancers are sure to love. So we are reading Legendborn. This is one that I was not sure if I was going to read. I think I said in my book haul very recently that I wasn't sure if I was ever going to pick this up, but I have heard so many amazing things. And with the 2 books that I have picked so far for this, I've been wanting to do a reading vlog lately, and I think April might be the month that I end up doing it with all of with the connection that these books are bringing, so I'm very excited. Pick number 3. This is Demonology, a book you did not pay for. So this could be pretty much anything. Well, not pretty much anything, because I buy most of the books that are on my shelf. I don't know why I looked when I literally just mentioned I got a book in a little free library. I think I'm gonna finally pick this one up. I don't know what it was. The cover very much intrigued me. So I ended up picking it up and thinking, why not? So we're gonna be picking this one up. All I know is that it's a fantasy. And it follows 2 beloved heroes. That's all I know. That's all I want to know. So if you're intrigued to hear my thoughts and what it's about, follow me for my wrap-up. Pick number 4. Psionics and Divination, which is a prediction bingo. So this can literally be any book, but I have to do a prediction bingo for that book. Prediction bingo is G, who is the creator of the Readathon, did some videos a while back where she was trying to read some books on her shelf, and then with every book she put a corresponding activity. So for one of them, she decided to do prediction bingo, which is basically you fill out a bingo board with all of your predictions for the book and try to get bingo in some way or another. So again, this can literally be any book. I just have to fill out a bingo sheet for it. So for this one, I think I'm going to pick Icebreaker. This is a contemporary romance that follows an ice hockey player, as well as I think a figure skater. And I think, is it an enemies to lovers? I don't know. But I've heard a lot of buzz about this. I'm very excited for it, and I have a vlog planned that includes this book. So why not? And pick number 5, last but not least, Restoration, a book that could cure a slump. All right, I think I'm going to make a little bit more progress in another series and pick up the 8th installment of the Sisters Grimm, because after this I only have 1 more book. If you aren't familiar with the series that I talk about way too often on this channel, we follow Daphne and Sabrina, whose parents have gone missing, and they are basically bounced from foster home to foster home until this older lady shows up saying, I am your grandmother. She whisks them away to this mysterious town, and they discover that they are descendants of the Brothers Grimm and also fairy tale detectives. And so, like I said, this is the 8th book in the series that I absolutely love and adore, and I'm almost done with it, and that makes me very sad. So it looks like these are my priority reads, as well as a Mirror Mended, which is a short little novella, so I'm very excited about that. Like I said, I am going to be trying to do a 30 in 30 challenge, so I'm not sure how well that's going to work out with these books and the amount of the amount of reading vlogs that I plan on doing this month. But I don't think Benson and I have any plans to go anywhere. We don't have any, I mean, our anniversary is at the end of the month, but I don't think we're really, like, we're not spending the weekend anywhere. We're not going out of town, and school vacation falls in April, so I will have plenty of time to read during that. I do have to pick a couple of books from my unwrapped cart, though. Tiny spoiler for March, I'm hoping to get it out by the end of March, but I am currently doing a reading vlog dedicated to unwrapping some books, and I want to keep that momentum going. I do want to finish the books that are on this cart because I don't want to have to unhaul as many this year as I had to last year. So The first one being, can't really see that, but it says 7, I promise. Book number 7, it is a sloppy paperback. Shit. I mean, not shit, because I'm excited to read it, but shit at the same time. Because I don't know how to feel about this series right now. So this is Finley Donovan is Killing It. This is one that I've been so excited to read, one I have heard so many people talk about. It is wrapped up because I have started it twice in the past and just never ended up continuing past a certain point. But as the series has progressed, a lot of people have been saying that it is getting worse and worse. A lot of people have already DNF'd the series because it is just getting so repetitive and not as fun. And I don't want to start a series that I'm going to end up hating. But I've always said that I will try pretty much anything once when it comes to reading. So we'll give it a try. We'll continue the series. We'll see how we feel about it. Because this is a 5-star prediction and I don't want it to go to waste. And then pick number 2. And 23. Let's see what that one is. Book 23, which this feels shorter. Still a paperback. What is this? I'm regretting decisions because I pulled out Once Upon the End. This is the 3rd and final installment in the Half Upon a Time series that I've been in the middle of for a while. The reason that I have not gravitated towards picking this up is because I don't remember a lot of what happened in the first 2 books. It's like once I read one of these books, pick it up, get through it, I enjoy it while I'm reading it, and then it completely exits my mind. So when I did pick this up, I had it in my mind that I was going to reread the entire first 2 books. Meaning I am reading an entire trilogy in April. My stack just went from this to this. And then, of course, there are a few more books that I have to include because I have some vlogs that are planned for this month. So that 30 and 30 challenge might be happening whether or not I actively participated in it. Don't get me wrong, I'm very excited for all of these books and I am very, very excited to see how the Magical Readathon goes, what I end up actively reading, and so on and so forth. It's just going to be a bit of a challenge, and normally when I challenge myself to read too many books, I end up hitting a reading slump, and I have not hit one yet this year, so I'm hoping that that doesn't happen. Thinking about it now, though, in all honesty, if I'm going to reread 2 books in order to read a 3rd, I am going to go against my own rules. Well, it's not really going against my own rules because the whole point of picking out of my series jar first is that if I have to reread a book to continue on with the series, then I don't pick out of my rereads jar. So with that being said, if I'm going to be rereading 2 books to complete a series, I think I'm going to eliminate Yellowface from my TBR. If I have time for it, maybe I will put it back on, but I think as of right now, that's just gonna go back on the shelf and I will reread it another time. It's just 1 book, but it eliminates some pressure from me so that I don't feel like I absolutely have to read it. So this is what my final April TBR looks like. I am very intrigued for all of these books. If there's anything in this stack, anything that you think I should pick up first, please let me know down in the comments and let me know what's on your April TBR and if you're participating in a 30 and 30 challenge. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more from me as well as Benson, who's a frequent member on this channel. I will leave all of their links down in the description box below as well as links to my social media if you want to get any more updates from me. But until then, bye!